interviewing Ms. Shapiro today. What is your vocation?
I think in life I have a few different vocations, but the main vocation is to teach young people about art.
How long have you been teaching art?
11 years. This is my 11th year at Mount Carmel.
What made you realize your true vocation?
I think I came to a point in my life where I wasn't happy with the job that I had. Was waking up every day hating to go to work, and realized I needed a change, and that I had a talent of doing art, creating art, and I wanted to help others create art.
What was your old job?
I worked as a service writer at a car dealership.
How do you feel you are living your vocation today?
I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty passionate about art, so I hope that I'm presenting it that way to my students. In comparison to my last job, I now wake up every day wanting to come to my job. So I actually look forward to it. In August, I'm ready to come back, so I know that this is where I'm supposed to be.
Have you ever found anybody with the same amount of passion as you in art?
I think Mrs. Clemens has the same passion, but I do find here at Mount Carmel that many teachers are very passionate about what they teach. If they teach English, math, those are things I couldn't teach, but I find that a lot of the teachers here are very passionate about what they teach as well.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Shapiro.
You're welcome.
This is the post-reflection for the video project on vocation. Our interviewee was Mrs. Shapiro. What we can draw from Mrs. Shapiro's interview is that her vocation is here at Mount Carmel. Waking up every morning and wanting to be here can be paralleled to what Palmer says about listening to our hearts. Before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen for what it intends to do with you. After realizing that what she was doing wasn't her vocation, Mrs. Shapiro conducted almost like an internal clearness committee that allowed her to decipher her talent of art and apply it to her life's calling. Mrs. Shapiro also said that she wanted to teach young people art. In a way, we can see her as the light that allows for new growth to form. And this touches base with Palmer's metaphor of the seasons. Mrs. Shapiro's season is autumn. Palmer says that autumn constantly reminds him that his daily dyings are necessary persecutors to new life. As a teacher, Mrs. Shapiro acts as the persecutor because in doing so allows her students to grow and become better. Mrs. Shapiro can also apply autumn to her life for the fact that she persecuted her old life, which wasn't her vocation, to her new life, which allowed her to become an art teacher and live her vocation. Each of us arrives here with nature, which means both limits and potentials. Mrs. Shapiro saw her limitations to be her job at the car dealership. She was spent. In parallel, she was burnt out. But burnout, meaning by Palmer's definition, she was not giving too much to her job. She was just giving too little due to the fact of the lack of desire that she had. Mrs. Shapiro is transforming the world by transforming herself and her students here at Carmel. And what I mean by Palmer's quote is that she was able to change herself in order to better attribute her talents to society and in turn transform every one of her students to become better people. Whether they would be better artists or just to realize the art's not my talent and not my vocation. So to wrap up, Mrs. Shapiro has made a great impact by choosing her vocation. And as Palmer said, vocations aren't always easy to see, but over time we are able to find them and really apply them to life. This wraps up our post-interview reflection on Mrs. Shapiro. Thanks.